everyone, and welcome to SmallCap Spotlight. I'm Mubina Kapasi. This is a channel where we put the spotlight on small cap companies. And today, the company that's with us is into infrastructure and specializes in city gas distribution among many other different sectors. I have with me the chairman and managing director of Oval Engineering Projects Limited, Mr. Goutam Debnath. Thank you so much for joining us, Mr. Debnath. I think to begin with, if you could introduce Oval to all of our viewers, just to understand the description of the company from your own words, and also of the last couple of years, the kind of growth milestones the company has seen.
Thank you. Thank you for having me here. Thank you for giving this opportunity to say about our company. Oval Projects Engineering, we started in 2012, uh, 2013, 7th October. And we started with a very humble beginning. We started as a consultancy services. We have given services to ONGC, Oil India, consultancy. And in the beginning period, we actually given the services of site management consulting services, providing manpower to them for their managing their site and all. And later on, we gradually taking up projects like small projects, small fabrication job, small EPC job, in terms of fly stack installation, in terms of a separator installation and separator processing, small early production system. And later on, gradually we also started taking small pipeline jobs. From 2017-18, we have started taking city gas distribution job also. We developed ourselves in such a way that every value chain of gas processing and gas and well, wherever it is going after actually discovered and coming it to the surface, we are providing the services to our client. We are providing service in terms of facility development. And me as a chairman of the company, we started as a founder of the company. I started my career. I'm a mechanical engineer. I started my career from this oil and gas company itself. I started with Punjalad, and from Punjalad, we have provided services to Saudi Aramco and Qatar Foundation also. So I had a very big experience and large experience in terms of providing this type of services earlier also, and we have provided esteemed client. Saudi Aramco is the biggest oil producing and gas producing company, and Saudi and Qatar Foundation also. So in that area, we have provided the services from Punjalad, and we have gone through different kind of uh, uh, challenges over there. So that rich experience in terms of mentoring the safety standard specification and the complexity of the project, and complexity in terms of engineering, complexity in terms of construction, maintaining that world-class standard. So I had a big and large experience over there. So in 2013, I realized that why not this rich experience dedicated to our nation only. So, and in that way, we started from Northeast. I actually belongs to Northeast, but it's 20 years I'm settled down in Delhi NCR. And Northeast, Northeast is also, and if you see the geography of oil and gas footprint, then you can see the Western region and Northeast region is producing oil and gas for India in little bit southern region, KG Basin. So in Northeast also Assam and Tripura. Tripura is the largest producing state, gas producing state for ONGC. And for oil India, Assam is the largest producing gas producing state. So now Assam and Tripura are now full-fledged producing gas and oil over there. Now government is pumping money to connecting all 8 northeastern state with the Paradip, this Orissa, to bring the LNG and all. So we actually catering the services in these areas majorly. But slowly we have started catering services to other areas also. We have executed project in Jharkhand, a few projects in Bihar also. Now we are executing one milestone projects, RTP projects in Gujarat. We are executing projects in Bombay. We are executing projects in Kerala also, and obviously in Assam and Tripura. So starting from this area, we have spread it over whole pan India basis. Now we developed such a good team with us that we can cater whole over India, as well as we are ready to uh, take up ourselves in abroad also. So presently, we are catering 11 states and giving services to ONGC, Oil India, HPOL, GAIL, IOCL, all PSU companies, BPCL itself.
See, the oil and gas sector, it's almost like an oligopolistic kind of situation, right? There aren't that
Yeah.
many players. But then at the same time, you have L&T, which is, I imagine, the biggest competitor out there catering to this particular space. So I just wanted to understand that how would market dynamics work? Because you're in infrastructure catering to the oil and gas sector primarily. So how does
Yeah.
it work? I mean, how do contracts work? How do clients approach you? And right now you're only in India, is that correct?
Yeah, right now only India. We are planning for the UAE and this GCC countries, but presently we are in India. This in India, basically PSU actually comes with this tendering method, you know. So if there is any kind of facility requirement over there, they will come with the tendering requirement. So if your refinery is there, so they will split up the refinery in a 7 to 8 sector segment of the plan. Model 1, Model 2, Model 3, Model 4, Model 5, like that. Model 1 is a separator unit. Model 2 is the, this storage facility. Model 3 would be any kind of refining facility and all. So that each model will come with each tender, you know. So we participate in that those tenders, and if you are qualified in terms of technically, they will go for the technical evaluation. How much experience you have, whatever the criteria they mentioned in the tender, how much experience you have previously to in execution of this kind of project. So if you qualify in technically, they will open up the commercial bid. Even commercial, they will go for a commercial evaluation and award the tender. So market is getting into this market is very tough, but uh, because normal, uh, the EPC contractor who are executing civil jobs and other small jobs, they can't enter into oil and gas sector, because oil and gas sector actually maintaining a lot of standard and specification. That is the basic requirement of them. So that's why they go for the technical evaluation very thoroughly, and they set up their criteria like that. You have to you have to go through that kind of criteria, and the criteria basically maintain upon that. If you have the support one, if you have the experience of 3000 kiloliter storage tank facility development, so you will get qualified in 6000 kiloliters. The 50% criteria you have to match previous. You have to have the previous experience. And our strength is that Oval such a in last 12 years, Oval developed our Oval team has developed themselves, that we have experienced in each and every value chain of gas and oil. After processing, it will travel through a pipeline. After that, it is a terminal station before going to the client, and whole segments, providing plant construction, providing giving the services like engineering and procurement services over there, and laying of pipeline, and building up terminal station. All these activities we are actually doing. And now recently, from last 10 years, CGD is in the market. City gas distribution government is pushing like anything, that you have to have the CGD development. All PSUs has mandate. Now in city gas distribution itself, we have rich experience in terms of building up CNG stations, pipeline, in terms of DPNG connections and all. So in every value chain, we maintained ourselves in such a way that we don't have to think for any kind of, wait for any kind of market. that we are flexible enough to get the projects and execute in any segment of value, any segment of this chain. Our team is actually expert on that. If you give us the planned EPC job, we can execute those type of project also. If you give the CNG station job, we can do that type of job also. If you give the pipeline job, we are expert in that also. So my team is a 146 engineers with us. My whole team is expert in providing services in every value chain of oil and gas.
You mentioned briefly that you need to have a certain amount of work experience to qualify for certain kind of projects. So tell me,
Yeah, yeah.
started off, of course, I mean, it's a brand new venture, right? You as an entity, as Oval, when you formed, obviously there wasn't much in terms of this particular corporation's experience. So how were those earlier days? Was it, I know you mentioned you started off with consultancy. So at that time, you were not actively involved in execution. So is that something that laid the foundations for you to qualify for many of the projects that you are currently?
Yes, yes, correctly. You correctly said that. Correctly mentioned that the consultancy services first job we took as EPC service is a 2.5 crore job as a EPC job of one flash stack. That time the criteria was who has the experience of that flash stack installation or installation construction or EPC job of flash stack or any kind of experience having that consultancy in background who can also give in the services of that. So he also could be qualified. We took that experience and qualified that.
What are the biggest challenges? I mean, you're the chairman and managing director. Oval is
Yeah.
your brainchild, and I'm sure it's not always alone. There's always a group of people. But yeah, I mean, individually, if I have to ask you, what were the biggest challenges when scaling up, when growing, when making Oval to what it is today?
Challenges, obviously, there are a lot of challenges we face and overcome those. I found the challenges of developing skilled manpower group, which we have now. We have 500 people with us who are skilled enough. Then, starting in these areas in Northeast, na, it's very difficult and execute project because people are not here and not accustomed with this type of projects. People are, whosoever the people who are in the skilled workforce, now they are actually experienced with normal civil construction jobs and all. So skill them and giving them training and all and accustomed with this type of projects EPC because Northeast earlier used to the people used to come from outside L&T, Kalpaturu, all big players are coming here and executing the projects. But from this place and educating the people, train the people and building up a team that was the biggest challenge. Now that challenge is overcome very nicely and this is now my biggest strength. This team is with us. Our
Yeah.
attrition rate is negligible.
The entire oil and gas space, city gas distribution space, there are a lot of changes that we have seen in the last decade, obviously policy
Yes.
related, in terms of pricing. Of course, that may not be directly connected to you, but to a certain extent it is because it also depends on how much capex oil and gas companies are doing, which would indirectly affect you. So I just wanted to know what's your view on the industry overall? How are you viewing it? Where do you think it's heading?
See, India actually, you have gone through a lot of news as in last that our government is pushing very hard to uh, move for more and more oil and gas exploration. We are 88% while we are importing from outside, as well as we are producing 50% gas only as our requirement. So we have to go for now. Government is coming with a new innovative ideas. Earlier it was very limited to oil and gas PSUs like ONGC Oil India. They used to give this land and lease agreement to those people only. Now the government allowed for private parties, and a lot of private parties are coming. They are going for exploration and all. New area has developed. New area actually, this Andaman Nicobar, this island. So they have come with the biggest exploration. Jharkhand areas, they are going for shale gas exploration. So this kind of lot of activities are going on. I feel um that our Indian government will, after 5 years of time, will we can reduce at least 50% of our import from outside. So that, and huge investments are there. Alone in Northeast, the government is pumping money 1 lakh crore for only oil and gas development. Only 1 lakh crore for Northeast, and the majority 90% money is Tripura and Assam for developing them, and this pipeline grid. This grid is connected to the Paradip. So if there is any kind of deficiency in the gas from this side, then from Paradip to directly connected to the Northeast. So government is very positive, and I am very positive as an industry. I'm very hopeful that we will be having a lot of job in future, and like Oval, there are a lot of people is required actually to cater that market.
Okay, excellent. If you could walk us through some projects that you may have done, something very challenging that you may have really overcome, maybe geographical, maybe in terms of the nature of project. If you could share something like that of what Oval has managed to execute.
My first EPC biggest job was that Sonamura GCS. That was the biggest challenge that L&T was approached to execute this job, and they bid it for 320 crore that time. I said year of 2016, and we took that job phase wise, and we have completed that job by 120 crore uh, compared to 320 to 120. So we defeated L&T, and even EIL was approached to get the job on nomination basis from ONGC, but ONGC supported us, and ONGC believed on us, and they have given one job. After that, they have repeated the order and all. So that was biggest challenge, because in terms of geographically also, that the area was very remote, and there are a lot of objections from the landowners to give the land to the ONGC. So we sorted out all those issues also, and we overcome that challenges, and we execute the project nicely. And for that Sonawara GCS, that 104 megawatt power plant is running today, and our nation has earned hefty amount of money for that GCS. We are proud that we have contributed our services to that ONGC and later on power companies. And another good job we have done in uh, Jharkhand, there's early production system, the fast early production system in Jharkhand for shell gas, and the trapped gas in coal. And that gas processing center we have developed in Jharkhand. That was a very challenging job, and we have completed very nicely on time itself.
Okay, let's talk a little bit about the materials you all work with, commodities.
Mm.
It's, I'm sure, a lot to do with steel, iron ore, etc. How do you deal with the kind of vagaries that come about, especially because, once you bid for a project, there's
Yeah,
no room for change in the bid price. But of course, there's always room for change in
you are
commodities.
correct.
And these projects are sometimes long stretch. So,
You are correct. You are correct. And we are keeping actually contingency, in our whenever we're bidding for it, any kind of, we are keeping contingency certain percentage in our bid, so that we can tackle those situation in further future.
okay, understood. Now you went public recently, so I want to know that
Yeah.
what was the motivation for that? I mean, what do you think you're being able to do right now that you couldn't do when you were privately held or not?
I feel that uh, when you're in public, uh, the confidence level of investors or people around you, that actually boosted up, and my in the eyes of your client, in the eyes of your investors, in the eyes of uh, you know banks also, who are providing you the debt, they are also because listing is not a small thing. Listing, you have to go through all kind of compliances and all. So now you have overcome all the compliances, and people started believing you. Now, raising capital, working capital, for any further future contracts and all, it is very easy after listing. Before listing, you have to go to only the bank, and bank, as much as you have, you can give your collateral, they can give you the limit. So after listing, that issue is certainly uh, resolved, and we are actually going for now we are going for any kind of enhancement in our limit in bank are easily actually accepting our proposal and all. That is very, and clients are also looking us very nicely, and they're very safe in terms of, if you are not listed and you're private and you are dealing with the PSU and government, the government is to go through a lot of, checks and balance. So in client size also, we are now listed and they are cooperating us in better way compared to earlier cooperation.
Okay, yeah. So in a way, it's also about a certain image that has to be maintained to be able to
Yeah,
uh, grab some of the bigger, more prestigious projects as well.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I'd like to know if I know you mentioned Northeast is very big for you, and of course you will look for opportunities. But I want to know that what kind of capex are you looking at? Because if you have ambitions to go to the Middle East and the Emirate markets, so what is it in terms of capabilities that you will have to amplify where you may not be at right now currently?
Me, we are actually capable enough to execute the projects, because I have that experience with me in execution in GCC countries, in Middle East countries, UAE and Qatar and all. And so obviously saw these similar ones. So these now investing huge in their new projects and all. We have that capability in execution terms, but definitely we will not go alone. We will have local partner over there who can support us in terms of, lot of regulations to be maintained over there in terms of providing services, taking manpower from India and all. All Indian manpower is only working over there, not outside manpower. It's either Chinese or Indian. So we need to have that kind of support from local uh, entrepreneur over there in terms of funding, as well as in terms of local, to handle the local issues. We'll not go alone. We'll have that kind of joint venture with uh, some local entrepreneur over there.
Okay, where do you see Oval maybe in the next 7 to 8 odd years, either in terms of top line, because I'm seeing your trailing 12 months and you've managed to double it. So
Yeah.
how do you see this move? What were the factors that contributed to the last 12 months? And if you could share some ambition you have for Oval.
We have actually planned for 2029 to 30, up to 2030. We are planning for 30% growth every year, each in CAGR, 30% every year, and maintaining more than 18%, EBITDA down the line. So the top line and bottom line, we have fixed ourselves. And 2029 and 30, we can achieve this 500 crore top line. That's my ambition.
All right, super. And I know you mentioned that you have a team of engineers, highly skilled engineers. If I could know
Yeah.
who is there in your core team to help you, gain this, achieve this ambition, 30% top line, 30% bottom line, and of course, eventually to help you scale to international markets as well, which I'm sure will happen eventually. So I don't know who is there in your top management team assisting you, working closely with you for this.
We have core members with us who are actually heading different department. Somebody is heading mechanical, somebody is electrical, somebody is heading civil, and finance is heading by another person. So all members are very important for me, and all I can't take anybody's name. All are important for me. This, but me, including me, we are 8 person who are actually leading this organization for future perspective.
All right. Well, we wish you all the very best, Mr. Debnath. Thank you once again for joining us today on Small Cap Spotlight.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Well, that brings us to the end of the episode. Thank you so much for watching. Do remember that this does not constitute a stock recommendation. Please do conduct your own research. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button to the YouTube channel.